Now it says we're live.
Get it?
Yeah.
All right. Nice.
How's it going, Mr. Devin?
Right.
Good. How about y'all?
Man, we're good.
Good.
You're looking good there, buddy.
Well, thank you. Been working on that beard, so that's.
Oh, yeah.
I did too. I cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah. You got the ZZ Top starter kit going on there. You know what I mean? Looking, I don't know if you know, but you're looking good there.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Damn, we got 19 people checking you out already.
Oh, man.
God.
I want to know who the champ is. I mean, got a thumbs up already.
There's the first comment, Tracy Lynn.
Woo-hoo. Hey, guys. Hey, Tracy. Thanks for joining. We'll get a few people on. It looks like about 22 jumped in, 24. So we'll wait a couple minutes to get started.
I see my phone, the feed on my phone, it's a few seconds behind what we got here. So we'll have to keep that in mind.
Gotcha.
Just as we're trying to monitor it.
Hey, Ron, how's it going?
Ron Rich. Ron is in the house.
Here we go. Starting to see it on my side of things now.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool. 25.
Well, anything exciting today, fellas?
Man.
Cold, rain, sleet.
Yeah.
Well, you guys already got sleet?
Yeah.
Yes. There's some sleet on the table. There's some sleet on the table on the deck that I don't like.
Man, I have to admit, I did some work in the garage. Motor and trainees out of the car. That's what I did today.
Hey, Devin, do you remember last week I announced I'm going to move in with you?
Oh, yes, I heard about that. Yeah, you're going to come hang out with the Brown crew.
My wife has a question for you.
What's that?
It's on the screen here. Can you see it?
All right, I'll get her pictures. She won't like it because there's a lot of yard on that. There's a lot of yard on that.
She likes a nice green yard.
Yeah.
Green side? I live out in the middle of a field, so.
Oh, man.
It's hit and miss.
These are some acquaintances of yours. This fella here, whoever that is, Beebs Bryce.
Bryce. Yep.
Here's somebody else saying, "Hey, Devin."
Timothy. Yep. Oh boy, all these boys already hopping on here. This is
they want to see the champ.
Oh, see the champ. Oh shit.
Yep.
Got lucky. Let's just say that. Just lucky, right?
Oh my goodness.
Showed
up and showed out.
Yeah, that's right. You got to show up first. You did.
That's true. Kind of under the gun.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Poor Rodney kind of got hidden or on that one.
Yeah, I wrote that down. I'm not sure.
Oh no, he's got notes. See, that's not fair. You got notes over here. Oh. I can find a piece of paper, write something down, make it look like I organized.
Yeah. There you go, Devin. Tony Phillips.
Oh, come on, Tony. Come on. Dang.
Oh, that's awesome. All right.
You need to get in the car for racing this weekend, Tony. So you need to get ready.
Ooh.
He'll know what that means.
Okay. Got something going on there. So you ready?
I was always the guy that always tried to get in the car because we always race to the front like normal.
Oh, yeah.
So Tony always would wait for me to be in the car before he would ever get ready. Well, this season I kind of been off my game. I get in a little earlier than I normally do. And we had one hot race that we were all just cooking in the cars. And at the big end, Tony had to give me a little bit of hell for that. Like, so what's with just want to get in, sweat, and all this and that? And my bad. My timer was a little off. Come on.
Oh, that's a good story. Well, hey, thanks for joining us tonight, Devin. Like we said before, we want to bring you on and talk about a little bit about you, a little bit about your, racing and your background with your family, and just kind of how you got where you're at. We'll recap to the day of the race where you did win the belt and reset the record and that sort of thing. And if you've seen us before, we like to have fun and joke around, so it's all good. But so let's take it back. I know that you talked about how you, I think your first car was a Junior. Is that right?
That is correct. I was probably 8 or 9, solid body or solid frame Junior. Probably ran 12, 13 seconds.
Right. And how old are you now? About 28 or so?
I turned 28 actually next Friday.
Oh, okay.
That's not something magic that I could pick up. I stalked you a little bit, so
Oh, see,
put the
more
pieces
notes,
together.
more details. Like, oh,
Yeah.
there's
I put the
soccer.
pieces together, and I'm like, that dude's only 28 years old. Right on.
It's like, man, that's good. I mean, for
Yeah.
having the little amount of hair that I do have, you're able to guess that's pretty good.
Right.
No, I cheated. I stalked you.
So what made you go to the racing route? Was your family into racing, your dad into racing, that sort of thing? You got
Dad's always been into hot rods. Dad's had multiple vehicles before I was even around. He had a really, really badass Blazer years and years ago. Awesome system, badass small block and everything in it. And
Sure.
And unfortunately, he had to sell that just to be able to raise me and keep us afloat whenever I was little and all that. So that is kind of the details that I know. It might have been before me or whatever. But whenever I first started going to the track, Dad had a 1972, I think, Nova, big tire car, street legal type deal. Go out there and just go make some passes and load it back up on the flatbed trailer and go home. No big deal. And watched that a lot. And then at that time, my first thing I saw was the juniors. I saw all these kids getting in these juniors. I'm like, there's kids my age driving cars?
Right. On the track.
Isn't that not allowed? Like, no, apparently it was. So we started searching for me a junior about whenever I was about 8 or 9. And
right on.
Jumped in one and went out to Ozark Raceway Park and made my first lick and go up there, make my pass, nervous as ever, probably more nervous than I am now with this interview, not going to lie. But
You're doing great.
Go out there, make our pass, and brought me back and all this and that, and made my pass, and I go, so is that it? Is that all we get to do tonight? And Dad's like, no, we can make more passes. All right, let's go.
There you go.
More passes. And it's like, you got to turn and this and that. I'm like, oh,
nice.
Fair. So
is Ozark, you call your home track then?
Yep.
And what's your hometown?
Hometown is Mount Vernon, Missouri. So
how far from Ozark is that? Or Springfield area?
What's that?
The Springfield area, Ozark, how far from that is there?
So we're about 35 minutes or 30 minutes from Springfield. We're actually dead between Springfield and Joplin. So so we can head either way, Mocan or Ozark, and race anywhere for under an hour between those two. So
right.
So let's fast forward a little bit. Now we're in high school and stuff. And so do you got the fastest car in school or driving a truck or what are you doing?
Actually, whenever you had kind of mentioned some stuff with Logan about first vehicles and this and that, I was like, what was my first vehicle? And looking back, I'm like, I had a Mitsubishi Montero 2003 Limited.
Nice.
It's actually my mom's car that she actually just gave me for my first vehicle, running on 22s and everything. It was pimped out. It was pimped out. And I mean, drove around and thought I was the talk of the town with big old silver SUV. Then she kind of breaks it down going, well, here's the deal. If I know someone else has seen that vehicle somewhere it's not supposed to be, I don't know. Well, that was an easy way to track me down. You ain't going to hide a giant silver SUV with 22s on it in our small town that easily, are you?
Right.
Not so much.
Yeah, that's an old school tracking system right there.
Right.
Right on. So let's talk about like your first big car that you took to the track, though. You know, you took something to the track. What was that?
First big tire car was our 1953 Studebaker, which actually we had just sold here lately to Dylan Hall. He had purchased that car from us about 3 months ago, I think. Might have been not that far, something along those lines. But we went out there for our first time in a big car, and I was actually running juniors and running the Studebaker all at the same day and everything, and went out there and made some 650, 6.0 passes in it, and I thought I was flying then. I was like, yeah, this is crazy. But going into it from a rail to a door car, it's night and day different.
Right. And you're still a teenager then, probably?
Yep. I think I was 15 or 16. Dang. Whenever I made my first big tire car pass or big car pass. So
big car. Awesome.
No, that's cool. So looking back, what would you be your memory, your first race that you won?
In big car or junior or
Your story.
Oh, my story. Oh, God.
Both of them. Both of them.
Okay. This is the one I can always remember with my junior years. Is there was always a Labor Day race at Mocan. They had a big Labor Day race, bunch of juniors and this and that. We went out there. I can't remember what year it was, but we went out there and there was like 30 juniors, 30, 40 juniors in our class. I mean, that's just crazy to think anymore around this area with that many juniors. Right. We went out there and I actually ended up winning one back-to-back years doing that. And I thought that was the talk of the town and this and that. And I actually looked back this year. I looked back at the old time slips and stuff because you can look in the archives and all that.
Right.
Oh my God, I was terrible on the tree. Terrible. I was like, how did I win anything?
Yeah.
So,
did that something like that pay some money or what was that like trophies?
It was some plaques. You got some plaques and like $150 cash and a sticker that says money winner. And to a kid, shoot, that's all we need. We just need something that said something saying a winner. It didn't matter if you're second winner, third winner, if however you need a word to make yourself feel better. We as kids, we didn't care. But no.
So that's funny. Nowadays, we're just racing for those big fake checks,
Right.
Yep.
So that's pretty funny.
Yeah, where's the big bank with those? Like, come on.
Yeah, right. I think a big. That's right. I know that one. That's pretty funny.
Hey, is this your first live interview with us?
This is my first live interview.
So we're popping your live interview cherry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe like in, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, you'll be interviewing, like winning a pro mod race with Brian Loans on the big end or something. And we're like, we popped this cherry, man.
Yeah. And I'll stumble my way through it. And be like, oh, yeah. It was a good day. Went fast. Did a good job.
Show me the money.
About my way.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Put it down.
Yeah. So talk to us about the Silver Bullet. When did you get that car?
So the Silver Bullet was originally built in, I think, around 2010 to 2012. And Dad and Tito actually ended up building the car. Dad did everything on the front half of things and then had some help from Mark and everything doing the back half with the torque arm stuff and suspension and everything. So they actually built it for originally big block nitrous stuff and small block nitrous stuff and all that. And
okay.
Built that car and Dad raced it for a long time and won some races with it. Gone pretty fast with the combos then, and then just like anything, Dad's like, "Hey, you want to make a pass in the Bullet?" Yes. Let's do this.
That's awesome.
So Dad says, "All right, get strapped in," which this is a pretty good story. So I get in and get ready to rock and roll, and so we roll down the hill at Ozark doing solo passes, just trying to get things figured out, purging nitrous, turn on nitrous system and all that stuff, bottle pressure and all that's a whole different ballgame than just fire it up, do a burnout water pump and all that. Yeah.
Right.
Normal bracket car deal. So we go out there, do my burnout, come on back and ready to let off the button. Of course, Dad's all about like, we're going to leave the spray on it. We're going to make a pass. Like the motor pass. They ain't doing that. So I'm like, cool. So we get up there and I go to let go of the button and this thing just lights the tires up like instantly.
Oh man.
Like, wow, that's crazy. So I whack the throttle anyway, which one thing that we've all learned with nitrous, don't pedal it, which I happened to have taught it before I had gotten into high gear and went down right down Broadway and went 550 or 570 or some shit like that. And then Dad's like, well, how'd that feel? I was like, that was cool. Let's do it. So we go back around and bring it back up and get ready for our next pass. And Mom comes up and goes, what was that? And Dad's like, what? I just wanted to see how he'd react. Just, of course, like any parent in the racing deal is, we need to know they can handle the situation once it comes about. Like, hey, lost the tire. What's he going to do? Is he just going to freak out and stay in it, this and that? So where's the best place to learn is right off the button. So
There you go. There you go.
he tunes it down a little bit for the next pass and go right down Broadway. And he comes down after the pass. I was like through the chute and everything. Thought that was the coolest thing ever. Never get to throw a chute before.
Yeah.
Get off the track, and Dad's like, "Well, what do you think it ran?" I was like, "I don't know, maybe a 5.0 or something like that." He's like, "You just went 480. You set the track record."
Holy cow!
Second time ever in the bullet, set the track record and everything at Ozark, and that was whenever 480 was fast still, but 470s, 480s were fast. Obviously, we've evolved from there, but that was definitely a way to jump into the small tire life. Was do that. Can't get me away from it now.
No, that's great. So when did you switch over to the blower on that deal?
Blower was 4 years ago, I think. We went from LS Nitrous to LS Vortec with the bullet, and had to go through our learning curves and everything with it, just trying to figure out what this thing likes, what this thing needs to be improved on to make the bullet work and everything. And to be 100% honest with you, nothing can make me go back to nitrous at this point. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
it's just the amount of pistons and all that. It's so temperamental with the nitrous stuff. I mean, there's some people that are really, really, really good with it that, I mean, we were too, but it's just whenever you have a hurt soldier every other race, and
Gets old.
it gets old.
A lot of work. Yeah. So leading up to, I'm going to talk about the time where Gary and I met you. So a year ago, we rolled over to Hot Summer Nights in Mocan, and we got there what we thought was early. I mean, it was midday and stuff, and you were already set up. So there was a grassy area there. So we took that spot in, just looking at that nice stacker and that toter's like, oh man, I wonder who this guy is, And great time, great event. We end up, I remember as soon as they called us up to the lanes, I just remember this like it was yesterday. We get up and to be honest with you, the first time we thought, well, we'll wait a little bit because that was our little strategy. Well, when we were pit, we got blocked in, because the cars came all the way back, and we got blocked in the first time. We're like, man, well, this ain't right. This ain't how we usually do it. And of course, we saw you way in the front, all the way in the front, and didn't know who you were yet. And so then I remember, we all made it through, made our lap and everything. And I remember us coming over and talking to you and just a little bit about the scene and stuff. And you're like, man, you got to get up there early, don't you? And so do you remember that story at all, talking to you?
Yeah. I mean, I even commented on that video, and I was like, here's the deal is everyone looks at it, it's like, oh, you want the fresh prep, you want this, you want that. That is a partial of what we'd like to do. But the truth is the faster I can get up there, the faster I can get my pass done, the longer I have to get it turned around and make sure that everything's good. With the nitrous stuff, we kind of never knew if this thing was going to be heard after a pass or this or that.
And the car's coming behind you. Somebody breaks something, puts oil on the track, just holds up the lanes and gives you more time to work on your stuff.
Right.
Yeah, no kidding. Fast forward a few months later, me and you hooked up in the semis at Tulsa. Do you remember that?
Yep, I do.
I wanted to give you a race, but I was having the good old turbo bump through.
Yeah, I think you had bumped through, or you were pushing through the brake and all that, and you had taken off. I was like, well, I guess Chase is a race. So I go with the button and come chasing you down.
Yeah, that was a good time. I wish I would have gave you a better race. It's just got the Holly on and figuring all that out, but a race or two to get it tuned in. But that was a good time. And that was another time on the big end where you were just like, oh man. And we just had a great time there talking about it. And I just went back, remember talking to Gary and just all of our Wichita guys like, man, that Devin Brown's a cool dude. Yep. And just a couple little interactions there, 2 or 3 minutes, at a time. And so just want to share those stories with you and stuff like that. But
and we stole that quick staging lane plans.
Oh,
we gotta go. We gotta go. This is the Devin Brown plan. We gotta get now.
I have to admit, you all still gotta pick it up. Come on now. I went to y'all's place and you still let me get to the front. Come on now.
That's true. You did get us last weekend. Hey, I want to take you back to the 275 race, the 275 Madness race.
Gotcha.
That was a Danny Davis race at Arc City. Great turnout. It was like 32, 33 cars there for real. And of course, Brian was there, Brian Carpenter and yourself, and there were some other guys there. I don't know everybody. Of course, all the who's were there, and that sort of thing. And I remember, a funny story too is Brian actually came over to buy my car that night. He was wanting to take it home. No story. Yep. And that didn't happen, but he found another car for Cole. But I just remember like watching. I think I got put out in the second round, and the car field, there was extra rounds because I had so many cars. And I just remember kind of you were on one side, Brian was on another side of the ladder. We hung around and kept watching, and finally you guys made it to the finals. So tell us that race. Take us through that race for your perspective. I mean, the whole day.
The whole day. I mean, it was just normal race for us. We kind of showed up, and the surface actually back then was doing pretty good. That was before they were spraying PJ and all that, I'm pretty sure. And I mean, it was.
I think it was Renegade.
Yeah, it was Renegade. So I mean, God, it smelled awful though. I would say that it smelled like Jose Cuervo Gold and burned up. It was nasty. God, it was hazed over everybody's car because you guys turn off all them fans out at your place, it would be way better. I mean, all the fans over there just keeps blowing on all the cars. But we went out there and we had talked to Brian a little bit up at the staging lanes and kind of shot the shit and just kind of trying to figure out who each other is. And he was thoroughly impressed with our car, and we were obviously thoroughly impressed with his car. And we were kind of the underdog in that situation. I mean, you got Torque Arm LS with a 102 versus a Pro Line with a 123 back then, 4-link car. So I mean,
yeah,
you're gonna have to figure out a way to win this thing, and it's gonna have to be off the starting line early because we didn't have anything to charge out the back then. So
right.
So me and Dad talked about what we were going to do is soup it up and try to see if we can get something enough early to stay out in front. And I went 008 against his 96 light and already got him there. Went like 106, 107, 60, and we were out in front. And there's a 360 video of it, and you can see my car launch in front of him and get out there pretty good. And actually, the car ended up double shifting straight into third and fell on its face and still went 49. Still went 49 against him with a double shift. So I was still happy. It just he happened to get by maybe a car and a half out the back, and I was like. So, and then everyone, of course, proceeded to give Brian some hell for that light. He's like, "Oh, I was just worried about going red." I was like, "Race, about getting me the race right there." But I mean, he really had the power to steamroll around me out the back. But
right on.
I've always been that guy. Always the guy that gets out early and holds out and hopes the guy have enough to stay in front.
Yeah,
just a dang old Torque Arm car.
Right. So thinking through that day, we raced at Tulsa, and you ended up getting Craven in the final, didn't you? At the Titans of 10-5 last year in Tulsa.
Yeah,
I remember you were out. Oh, that was a race.
That was a race. Like everyone was blown away. I mean, you saw the mid track. Everyone thought I had him covered, and here he comes. I knew he was coming around quick too, so I was like, "Dang!"
Yeah, we was at the fence there, kind of at the finish line area watching, and man, that was two fast cars flying through there.
Yeah,
that was intense. I mean, I didn't see him all the way up until the mile-per-hour cone, and next thing I see is red bullet.
Rodney.
So here's the story. I just happened to be, no joke, in the tower because I got a little money, and so they said we got to watch, your race first. So I was able to watch the increments on the computer behind, in the tower to watch that race go. So that's how I knew how close it was. I saw the every increment come through on that.
Yeah, you want to talk about an individual that I've had some very, very, very close races with is that guy, Craven, and them is. I mean,
there he is.
Oh Lord, here he is. I see. He's obviously watching this. Guy getting a little pat on the back. And, we've had some extremely close races, especially this year at Bonne Terre. We went out there and got to the finals and ended up finish margin was 3 feet and all this and that. So he's over there. Oh, what race are we doing? Oh, look how sweet he is. Look how sweet he is. Better be ready for next weekend. That's all I got.
Yeah, he wants to calm down.
You guys need a room.
Yeah, you're on your good side.
People putting all these big comments. I can't read that fast. Make them smaller comments. Come on. But no, Craven and them have been really good to race with, and some damn good races with. So that's always what makes this racing deal fun. Is you want to make it tight to the finish line, and never know who wins until that light clicks on. It is always a good feeling.
Right.
Have you done much quarter mile racing?
Actually, I've never done quarter mile.
Do you want to? Any desire? A little bit.
Am I going faster? That's the real question. Will I be able to go like just as fast early and then just have a little bit more time to steamroll out the back? Then
yeah,
I might be interested.
Hangs on the back and go 200 and something. Woo, man.
So let's fast forward a little bit. Obviously, you decided that you want to add a new car to the stable, and so let's talk about that. You know, you went out and found a new automobile. So how did that transpire?
Well, we had realized, I mean, the Bullet's always been really good to us, and we've been able to contend very well with everybody with it. But I mean, to lean on this poor thing and to try and make it do any more than we've already asked it to do was going to take a lot. I mean, we still would have to get after it early and gain some power. I mean, we could have put a bigger blower on it and this and that, and we could have contended, but we still would have to lean on that poor thing so much. And with it, because so kind of off subject, after the wreck back at last year, we had talked about potentially 4-linking the car or shortening the torque arm or anything like that, just to make it some type of a car to contend with all these. You got big block with twins, you got 959s, you got more of these pro line with 136s. You got all these guys that have like 3,000 horsepower going out there and running the same class. And, I mean, the LS ain't no slouch, but it's just So we ended up finding this car out in Maryland and hollered at the guy settling it and kind of was like, hey, here's the deal though, is we're interested, but the only way is if you can bring it back. And I mean, so they ended up loading it up and driving 20 hours to bring it to us, and got to. I didn't get to look at it before the final yes or no, but that was Dad's deal. So he was here to check it out and see what he thought of it, and obviously I'm thrilled to death that we decided to go this route. I mean, obviously 3 track records and some crazy mile an hour, and it's a little different than the LS life. I'm not gonna lie, different.
Did you buy it turnkey, or did you piece together an engine and trans?
It was turnkey. It was 100% turnkey and everything. So I mean, there's just, I mean, that's out there for anybody that wants to say, well, you didn't build the car or this or that. I mean, let's be 100% honest. Not everybody builds. I mean, my dad and Mark and all them built the Bullet and did all that, and I saw what endless hours it takes to do that. And it was a pretty good deal for what it is and everything, and just said, you know what, let's go to if we're going to keep playing in a gunfight, let's bring a gun to a gunfight type deal.
So, you did.
Big
good.
No, so just let's lead up to kind of the coming up to Mid America, you know. And I know Gary and I are on these feeds and that sort of thing, and we're trying to hype it up, and we're talking about people donating to the record and that sort of thing, and we went out and got the belt and kind of started pumping that up. You know, take me through that. What are you thinking there when you're watching those videos? And obviously you reached out to Gary and that sort of thing, so let's talk through that.
I mean, that was definitely the kind of the nice part, is having somebody to hype up a race or even communicate with some of the out of town racers. I mean, you all have your group, just as I have my group of people here that we shoot the shit and we kind of see if who's going where or this or that, and getting to see somebody just kind of say, hey, we're having this, not trying to say, you need to come here. It's just more like, hey, we're just having a race. Anybody wants to come out, this is what we got. And to come out and run on y'all's surface was something that was really awakening for me, and especially if I can convince a lot of my guys to be like, hey, let's go check this out, because I think you all will be pretty happy with it, because
Yeah.
like I said, we went 109.9 during the record pass and everything. So I mean, it wasn't like, I mean, that's still getting it, but I mean, I feel like there's way more out there where we were racing. So that's something that you all promoting kind of helped me say, hey, you know what? We just
got you fired up, didn't it?
Yeah, it got me fired up. I mean, whenever y'all said, let's do one more time.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the last race before that. And then,
You know, and that this whole deal wouldn't have been any better than how it turned out. Because if you would have showed up at that race, I mean, it would have probably happened. But then for it to not happen and you not make that race, and then doing the other one was not us. It was Gary Harper. He reached out to us Sunday and was like, "Hey, we need to try this one more time." Right. He wanted to close the winter out with somebody getting the record, so it got all put together then. And man, the way that day went with you showing up, you know, I don't know, it couldn't have been any better. It was great.
Right. That was, yeah. And Gary actually was the one that we asked if we could pit where we pitted and everything. And of course, he didn't really know who we were, obviously, which I was perfectly fine with. It's just, we'll keep the car in the box and this and that. We watched some people make some passes and everything. And then some people started looking, going, what are you doing here? You weren't on the live feed saying you were going to be here. It's like, no, I got a hold of you and was like, hey, I'm going to come. I don't want to be the, like, oh, this guy's only here for the record and that's all he's here for. I'm like, no, I'm here to have a good time and learn this car. I mean, it's still new to us. So, I mean, let's see a different surface. Everyone said it's really turned out to be really good with this PJ1 and all this and stuff. Yeah. So, let's go out there. Let's see what this thing does here. And obviously, I was thoroughly impressed. It even broke my transmission. I mean,
Well, let's go. Take us through that first pass off the trailer. Take us through.
First pass off the trailer. So, me and Dad, the night before, we had talked about tune-ups and kind of found some stuff that was making it a little bit more aggressive where we really didn't want it to be. So we were just trying to clean up some G meter stuff and this and that. And so we had already loaded the tune-up the night before. So we were like, well, we're just going to stick to this, get maybe something to A to B, and we'll see what happens.
Right. Hey, about that tune-up. So you had been 415 at Ozark, right?
That's correct.
Was that the tune-up you loaded in to go to 16 at Mad? Or a whole different setup?
I mean, to be 100% honest with you, everything now with the fuel corrections that we've done over the past few months and everything, and just some other parameters that we're learning and everything, it's a different type deal. So it's not just a plug and play. We try to evolve along with the car and just try to make everything work in accordance to it. So we're not just, oh, I want to go this, click.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's on the bike.
Yeah. So you set the record, the first one, come around. I remember, you come down the return road, high five and everything. At that point, you got the $300 just to be the first. And so
Waffle
you
House.
go.
Whoever.
Perfect.
Someone said put IHOP or Waffle House. I'm sorry, but that had to be said.
Go ahead, Rod.
And you go back around and, now you're ready. You're thinking about it. You officially had the record. So you're going, getting ready for the second hit. And then, so I know you're on the computer and that sort of thing. And talk us through that.
Well, at that point, we got kind of lucky that the 30 pass did go down, because I mean, it was 121, 123. I'm pretty sure it was 121, 60 foot. And it got out there and was shaking itself to death out the back. I mean, it was just unbelievably violent out the back. But so after we came back around, we knew we had a bunch left in it that we could just hit it early. And we're like, well, here's the deal. And I mean, Gary, I came over and was just high-fiving, all excited and everything. Congratulations and this and that. And I was like, all right, now what do you want?
Yeah.
We got a whole day left ahead of us. Right. So you know what? Yep. So me and Dad had told him, like, here's the deal. It's like, if we can get after it a little bit earlier and trying to go a teen 60 foot. It's probably going to go a teen out the back. And he's like, load it. Let's do it. So I was like, okay. So, I mean, and it's just a respectful thing is like just going out there and kind of massage the way through it and just trying to see what this track's going to take. But I was like, you know what, screw it. I think it'll take it if I try to swing at something. And sure enough, it did. It went right down Broadway, carried the wheels maybe 2-3 inches off the ground. And
Hold on. So we got to you start the car for the second round there, and you pull up. Talk us through that.
What's that? Sorry, you were kind of cutting out there.
You didn't cut out. You did a burnout.
In Q2. You start the car.
Yep.
Take us through that. You pull into the water box.
Oh, okay.
You did burnout. You backed up.
All right. Did my burnout. Everything's fine. Back up. You said Q2, right?
Yeah. Your second
whenever I went 16.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Aha! See,
yeah.
I was like, oh, you're trying to trap me in that one.
I'm trying to trap you. You got it.
So you're probably talking about E1. You're probably trying to talk about, okay.
Because Q2 was your 16.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Now we're in E1. You get a bye, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now we get a bye.
So
now
we're at the back of the line, and Gary comes up and says, "Hey, you're number one qualifier. You're allowed to go to the front if you want to make it past first or whenever you want to." I was like, "Okay, we'll go up first. No big deal. Get it done. Get it back. All good." So we get up there. And
is that your wife or who's that?
Oh, that's my wife. Oh,
Julia.
Yeah.
Okay.
What'd she say?
Can you see the running caption?
Oh,
Devin?
Yeah, I can see it now.
See at the bottom.
So we go out there, and after all the hoopla about the 16 people coming over, saying high-fiving, we go up to the lanes, get up there, get suited up, do the fire it up, go do our burnout, come rolling back. I'm like, man, this thing's idling really high. Like, it's just weird. I'm like, I look down, fuel pressure's good and everything. Like, typically whenever it's doing that, it's run low on fuel. Right. Everything's good. I'm like, just something's not right. And as I get back and put in neutral to clean it out and everything, and damn thing starts going crazy high on the idle and fuel pressure goes down. I go, God, I hope the fuel pump just went out because I think I forgot to put gas in.
Oh, no.
I hope to God it's just a fuel pump because at this point, I'm not going to.
You would rather the fuel pump broke than you forgot.
Right, 100%. I'm like, you know what? At this point, oh God. So they push me back and we get out of the way, and I'm like, oh, let's let people go by. Oh no, they put it off. It's out of fuel.
You're on stage.
I'm on stage, and I'm like, great. The one time that I'm like, oh, well, I can go last. It's not that big. Well, you're allowed to go first. Great. So now everyone gets to make fun about this. So yeah, I got caught up with all the hoopla and everything, and was worried about all the other
signing
stuff.
autographs. What you're doing, you forgot to fill it up. You're back there signing all these autographs.
Yeah. I mean, now I carry fuel jug with me everywhere I go. Guaranteed, we're good.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Hey, so I got a serious question for you, for real.
What's that?
You happen to be number one, so you got the bye, right? Had a racer, drop out because he had a fuel pump issue, so it was an odd number. If it was 8, then you would have had someone next to you after that burnout. So how do you think that would have went down? You think they would have waited for you? Or
I mean, to be 100% honest, at that point, the ball's in their court. I mean, I got 2 minutes technically at that point to get gas, which I don't think we would have had time to do that. So, I mean, honest to God, I couldn't blame the other person for doing whatever they wanted to do. I mean, if they wanted to wait the 2 minutes and say, hey, dude, it's been 2 minutes, I'm going to go about my way. I'm going to be and be like, all right, you gave me my 2 minutes, you're good, go ahead, no big deal.
And I've seen that before. I've seen where people give the 2 minutes or the whole, hey, take as long as you need, and that sort of thing. You get the 2 minutes no matter what. But
no, it's all based off the line guys' decision.
The starting line, that's the starter. I guess he does have the ultimate say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I did see a situation. I think you're in, couldn't name the track, Mocan, Ozark, and you were racing Jake Mason. Right?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. And you had a little issue. I was just watching it through live feed, on the track. I don't know what happened, but
Right.
I did.
Yeah, that was a deal. Of fuel line actually came loose a little bit and was leaking fuel. And obviously, any typical line guy's gonna say, "Dude, you're leaking fuel." Like,
Yeah.
Which, I mean, at that point, he really didn't assess the situation fully. But at the same time, I mean, it is what it is. And
no, that's cool.
After my hissy fit at the starting line, asking where my 2 minutes was and this and that, and
Sure.
I was like, you know what? It is what it is, and
Right.
I can suck it up and make sure it doesn't happen again.
That's
it. You want to hit on your engine combo just real quick?
Oh, big block Chevy 540 with a 136 millimeter Procharger, gear driven, obviously. Dual injector, 825 mains, 325 or 350 secondaries, turbo 400 3-speed, 4-link car.
Pretty standard go fast equipment. Yeah,
pretty much.
I
mean,
Holly power.
Yeah. Cool. So, so I got a few more questions, and I know Gary's got some too. But just staying with the moment, staying with the belt, and staying with getting the record, everything. Just a shout out to the people that put up the money for that. So we had $1,000 coming from J.R. Sandlin. We had, of course, Flip's $400 from Flip-O-Matic Transmission. We had the track actually give $400 towards that, and then Keith Lopez at Fox Rod Racing. So that was $2,000 plus. I think you gotta make a call to Minnesota. Did you not?
I didn't get to make the phone call, but Cole ended up messaging me and hit me up about the $100 for the record deal and everything. And I actually haven't got a chance to message Brian or anything. I mean, it's just crazy on our world. On a side note,
maybe.
Gary, did you get a package from me?
I did.
You did?
Okay. Well, yeah. You asked for my address, and I thought I was going to be getting a Christmas card.
Mm.
But then obviously you was watching the tracking, and you said, "Don't open it until the live feed." And here it is.
Here we go.
It's not it's my address, but it's not to Gary Putnam. It's to everyone in my address. And now I don't know. I think maybe Rodney's behind this, knows what it is. You guys might have collaborated on something.
I don't know. Who knows? At this point, you hit stuff from him. Why not the other way around?
That's why I think one of these times he's going to be sneaking behind my back, and
he's always doing stuff to me. It would be fair.
So, do I dare open this?
I don't know.
Well, I'm going to open it.
All right.
I mean, this is the time, right? Is this it?
This is it.
It's time. Let's get it.
All right. It looks like a bag. It's got writing on it. Oh.
Got your readers?
It's big enough. It's big enough print. I don't need. Is it the correct way to see it?
Yeah, we see it.
Yep, you're good.
Well, it's like a handbag.
Beach bag.
It's on the back too. It's printed on both sides. Man, you went all out. Let's see.
Yeah.
This says the bag is to carry your skirt since you won't need it to carry the cash bonus for setting the record. Hey, and there's something inside, dude. It's like it came with a skirt. It's got an ugly ass skirt.
Oh, come on, that's good color.
Look at that. It came with a skirt.
Put it on, Gary.
Oh God, he really is going for this. Oh, please, everybody, start getting screenshots of this. Please.
Oh my goodness. Put it on.
Hey, it's not for me. I'm no threat to that record. That was addressed to everyone.
Woo! You're looking good.
Oh God.
Hey, what I'm hearing is Devin sent that to you, and he's letting everybody around town know that we're a bunch of girls and we're wearing the skirt and we'll never be able to take that belt back. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what I'm hearing, Gary?
That's your words, not mine. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's how I take it.
Yeah,
that's like,
that was awful nice of Devin to send that to you, and to get that.
Hey, it's just right here. Come get it.
Yeah,
I think I'd rather had a Christmas card than sit here in the skirt.
yeah.
Oh,
Maybe we
man,
need to
that's
send
good.
that skirt to Minnesota.
Oh,
maybe.
Yeah, get him to come down. Yeah. So since we're talking about that, we want to publicly come on and say something here. So as Gary talked about last week, we talked about the 3 second, and we want to know who will be the first, to run in the threes at Mid America. So people want to chime in and chat, and we can talk through that. And while you're doing that, we kind of have an official announcement to make. Some companies have actually approached us, and they want to get in on this first to the threes. And so what we're announcing right now is we're 3 companies coming up, and we're going to the first 3 vehicles that go down the track at Mid America Dragway, $3.99 and faster, is going to get a belt. And it'll have your name on it. It'll have the date, the ET. We're also going to put, of course, the company that sponsored that. And so just saying it out here right now, Fox Rod Racing, Keith Lopez, approached us about the 3 second belt and wants his name on it. He wants to be the first person to get a belt to someone. And if you got 275s and you come to Mid America and you go $3.99 or faster, you're going to have a belt just like that you will keep forever.
Yep. It'll be personalized. Yep.
I got some boys here that probably would be a little interested in that.
That's why we thought it'd be you and 2 of your buddies, maybe.
That's a big stretch. I mean, there's the deal. It's like you go from 416 to a 399. That's a stretch.
That's a mile away.
Just like that much. It's just that fish you caught like this big, but it was actually about that big. Yeah.
No, it's great. It's great. So
Keith, he caught the video Monday where he's talking about, the belt, personalized belt and stuff. And he reached out Monday after he watched the video, and he's like, "Hey, I want to sponsor up that first belt." So he stepped up first. He's ready. He's ready for you. Any more racing this year for you? You getting ready to put it away?
We got one more actually coming up this weekend. It's a double race. We got a makeup that we were supposed to actually be racing raced last night, but it obviously Mother Nature was not going to be cooperating, and they just ended up pushing it back to this upcoming weekend. We got the last points race for Ozark going on, and then we also got our Hooktacular going on. So that should be a pretty good race. I mean, based off everything I've kind of read on it or heard from it, so it's going to be a pretty good time, and hopefully Mother Nature cooperates and gives us the opportunity to have a pretty good surface too. So
yeah.
Oh God, crazy.
They're already sizing up the belt.
Here we go.
Come on.
Sizing up the belt.
Pre-order. What any upgrades or anything on the winter? I know you said you had to get the training fixed up real quick. I mean, anything else you're thinking of?
Not really. No, we'll probably end up pulling the motor and letting it get sent off and kind of looked over, freshened up, maybe some fresh rods and pistons in it. But honestly, it was just, I mean, yeah, we've made quite a few races with it, but I think it's probably still pretty good, but we just don't want to take a chance, especially after it kind of lost the load on it during that Passover at y'all's place. And so hopefully it's all good. And after this race, we'll probably pull it out, send it off, and just play it the right way, because that's definitely something I don't want to get involved in whenever it's going south or something's trying to exit. Yeah, no, we'll just.
I get that. So I got one for you. So like, who would you say like your crew is. Like, who are you going to? It's time to go to the race. I got to, this person's coming. This person's coming. Who's going with you?
So that would obviously be mom and dad. So, and then got my wife and our 2 fur children. And yeah, last race, my wife and the 2 kids not being there. That's why we were out of gas. I mean, my 2 mascots were supposed to keep me in line and make sure that was also.
That's it. Cat's out of the bag.
Cat's out of the bag. See, it wasn't my fault. Not my fault. Nope. Yeah. Nope. But actually, we brought on my cousin Brock too. He's getting involved in this racing world. He actually had never seen us race or seen me race, at least since World Finals. World Finals at Mocan was the first time he got to see me race. So it's been pretty fun to bring him in too and all that. So
cool. We learned that your mother has a pretty important job. Tell us what that is.
So mom's going to tell you whether this track is worthy of X or X. I mean, if it's worthy of a teen or if it's worthy of an 60 foot, she'll tell you straight up. Like, I mean, whenever we showed up to Madden, she's walked every surface in front of the Bullet while I was in it, and she's been on duck stuff and everything. And she went out there whenever we made our first pass and was like, this is just like duck stuff. I mean,
nice.
You go out there and it just has all that tack to it and everything. And so, I mean, it's been a while since we've had that aggressive of a surface to get to run on and everything. I mean, Ozark and Mocan are working on their programs and getting it figured out really, really quickly and trying to get it to that caliper as well, so we can all just start flying down these tracks and be able to really light up the scoreboards with some pretty killer numbers and everything. So, but yeah. Mom's job is she's our track meter. Let's be 100%. Yep. If her shoes are trying to come off, she ties them a little bit tighter and says, "Yep, this is what." So here we go.
Yeah.
How many shoes has she lost, or does she's pretty good at keeping them tied down?
Pretty good. She's pretty good about that. She does the little high step deals. She does stop. If you hold still, you know how that is. You hold still too long, you're done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, my cousin Brock got to learn at Mad because, I mean, he hadn't got on something that aggressive. And
right.
So he was holding still. He's like, man, this thing is really sticky. And I was like, yeah. Went to step the other way and whoop.
Oh,
yeah.
This is the real deal stuff. Like, you're coming out here and you're losing shoes and falling and this and that. You watch a bunch of YouTube videos of, like, Big Jake's race. You watch Duck's race and all them boys out there. I mean, they're getting with it with the prep. So to say that it's similar to that, that's a big honor coming from Mama Brown. So
yeah, quick feet. There you go.
There it is. Truth.
Yeah. And I just got a couple more. So, and you can pass on this one if you don't want to answer. But we all sit here and we work in the garage and work on our stuff and trying to be fast and that sort of thing. And I know in the back of your head, there's a couple, you got a list, 2, 3 guys like you want to race, like you want to beat these people. Is there anything like that for you? Kind of keeps you motivated, keeps you buying parts, or you just want the win or the Wally and the belt?
Honestly, I mean, I just love racing. That's just the simple. We all got into this world for one reason, and it was to go down the track as fast as we possibly could. A lot of people get caught up in this wanting to win. I mean, yeah, winning's all fine and dandy, and I mean, don't get me wrong. Beforehand, that's all I kind of looked at with the Bullet and everything. And now that we've kind of got to step up and go extremely, extremely fast and try to just break records, now it's turned into a deal just like what we started as. How fast can I go down that track?
There you go. So you're kind of yourself,
and if anybody knows how we tune our stuff and everything, me and my dad, we're all about, like, during qualifying or testing or anything, we're swinging for it.
Yeah.
What's the point of going A to B every single time if you don't really get the chance to learn what you can't hold no more? I mean,
Yep.
No, I get it.
I have that info and that data.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you can learn a bunch on how your chassis is going to be by being crazy aggressive and finally figure out what your chassis needs to be able to go that fast. And everyone's like, oh, it's just the surface. And I mean, it might be sometimes, but whenever you go out there and you're having issues with it wheeling or it just doesn't even move. I mean, there's a bunch of factors going into play with some suspension that some people just don't really dive into as aggressive as they should, and that's what's holding them back. So,
Right on. Cool.
What's your favorite track you've raced on? You have a favorite?
Favorite track? Ooh, that's a good one. It's probably Memphis.
Oh,
Years and years and years ago in X275 life with the Bullet. We traveled there and raced, and it was mainly shutdown.
Yeah.
To be 100% honest, it was a shutdown, big old curve. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to throw a chute there. You throw a chute, you're stuck on the curve. I mean, let's be 100% on that. But it's just, yeah, I mean, that was a cool place to race. And obviously, Gateway. I've been to Kentucky, Georgia, Texas quite a few times. I mean, I've gotten to race a lot of really, really elite, nice places. And so, I mean, probably Memphis. I mean, just for the shutdown. The shutdown was the coolest thing ever. Just circle track racing practically with a drag car after your pass. So it was kind of fun.
Doing some road course action before getting back to the trailer.
Right.
No kidding. Memphis, one of the places you shut down, and you're like, oh, I got to get some gas. I got to get going here and get back going around the curve. That's what Memphis is.
It's true. Very true.
Yeah. Cool.
Get a bigger gas tank. What's your daily driver? What do you drive every day? Like a monster truck or something?
2015 F250 with a work bed on it.
Nice.
Yeah. There you go.
That's it. I mean, I had a little S10 that I actually had bought off of a kid last time we went to Centerville, and or he was out of Centerton, but bought this S10 and was planning on making it kind of a little LS hot rod deal for the streets and everything, just to putt around in and have some fun. He actually ended up buying it back literally a year later. So now I'm just with the work truck, and I'm just sticking to that right now. So
right on.
Kind of boring. I've had a fun car once, and then it didn't last very long with it. 2016 Challenger, Scat Pack, and this and that, but
just wasn't your thing, huh?
Just wasn't my thing. I know where I need to go fast, and anybody watching this, like, let's be 100% honest, is just go out there and be dumb on the roads. All fine and dandy until you get hurt, where you can go to the track and do it in a very way safer environment. But you do you, boo. Just not that guy. Not that guy that likes to go do it on the highway with a bunch of traffic going on and everything.
Yeah. And when we was in, not when we were there, we was watching the video, like somebody's live, if it was Fodad or who it was, but he was, I think it was a Mocant, might have been the Hot Summer Nights. And then again, when we went to Titans in Tulsa, your dad was driving the silver car on 8-inch tires. Is that going to be the norm?
That's going to be the norm for a little bit. We're gonna play in that world a little bit. We actually had finally made a full pull in the Bullet and went 491 at 162. So we actually ended up setting the mile-an-hour record for Titans and everything. So we finally got some data and just haven't had really much time behind it. Ever since this red car kind of took over our 10.5 life, we just figured this is going to be way easier, and which I mean, it's a bunch of work. Don't get me wrong. Two car life is
a bet.
It's a lot. I
One's
mean, we
bad
used to
enough.
do this all the time, but not to this caliber. Back-to-back classes and all that. So
no doubt.
Yeah, that's plan on being the norm. We might do a couple of modifications to the Bullet to help make it a little bit more consistent. But besides that, I mean, we'll probably leave her on some skinny itty-bitty tires for a while and see what happens.
Cool. What's your 2024 race season look like? You got your calendar set up yet?
We show up when we show up, and we kind of try to tell the wives what we want to do and try to figure out what races we want to go to. So we haven't really dove into anything. We're hoping to maybe travel a little bit more come next season to some bigger races. Might miss out on some of the smaller stuff here local, but maybe go and try and run down Texas and run with those boys and some other tracks outside of Norm, just to see what this red car can really do on some other surfaces and better air and all that. So
Yeah.
Will you be at Texas Radio Roundup in March?
Come
on.
No comment. No comment at this moment.
Too early to tell. That's
Man,
cool.
all right.
I would love to. I mean, I would love to be able to just jump and go, but at the same time, I mean,
Yeah, you'll be there.
oh, you'll be there. Oh, okay.
You'll be there.
I'll message you after this and we'll talk. Yeah.
Oh, I'll keep it quiet. I'm low.
Oh yeah. I mean, you did really good about that.
You got a skirt out of it.
I love the story with Dad coming up to you and be like, Jason, who's Jason? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh.
We had no idea who he was.
Yeah, no idea. That was great. So, go ahead, Gary.
When you're not racing, do you have any hobbies that are not race related?
Oh God, this is where the comment section is going to come in. I used to play a bunch of golf. Went to school in golf or in Orlando for golf, and I love bowling. I'm the guy that's more like throw me to the wolves in a type of deal, and I'm going to try and figure it out and
just do it and figure it out.
Everybody else, so
wing it.
Whatever everyone else is doing, only child thing. It's like, hey, you all are doing that. I'll figure it out. We'll go have a good time with it too. So, but now golf and bowling are probably one of my top two.
There you go. You got the big curve on that bowling ball. You got the whole slice going.
Two-hander. I'm a two-hander with that.
Yep, there's the secret right there. You're one of those guys.
Oh yes,
you're good at everything. Guys. One of those. Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
The cheater. I'm a cheater.
Uh-oh. You got the little bumpers on or something? What's going on?
Oh yeah, you know it. You kidding me?
Yeah.
How do you think I got 300s in a row? I got the
Holy cow.
Cool. So, who would you say like you look up to? Who's your hero?
That would be my parents, 110%.
Cool.
No ifs, ands, or buts. Those two have sacrificed and done so much for me. I couldn't thank them enough ever in my life for the struggle that they had to do to be able to build both their companies and to raise me and go to school and all that stuff. And those two are definitely my heroes in my world, to be able to get to do what we do and race and have a good time and travel and all that stuff. It definitely makes the world to me. So, but yeah.
Cool.
Very good. You got any shout outs for any of your, people help you, any of your sponsors or anything?
I mean, let's we'll go with D&J right off the get-go. Already got the transmission fixed back in the red car. Shout out to David. We got Tito, Mark over there, and Woody Auto Performance, WAP, as some people would take that a whole different way. Baron Racing. I'm probably missing somebody, and if I am, I apologize. I mean, just kind of caught off guard on that one. So just someone's gonna message me and say, "Hey, you forgot me." I'll put it in the comments after the video is posted and everything. So I'll cover myself right there.
Right on.
Hey, if the money was not an issue, you could make as much money as you needed and wanted to do this. If you could race in any racing organization, any style of racing, no matter the amount of money, you'd make more money than you need. What kind of racing would you do? Like Formula One, NASCAR, Top Fuel, Funny Car, Pro Stock? What kind of racing would you do?
Man, that's a hard one. Could have gave me a heads up on that one. Would have been nice. I could have thought of that. Dang.
Nope.
Yeah.
Racing wise,
it'd
probably be NHRA. Go out there and run
Pro Mod, Pro Stock, something.
I mean, Yeah, I just add small tire class and we would just have a good
There
time.
you go.
With that.
Ain't that the
It'd be
truth?
way more fun.
Yep.
I mean, but yeah, I would say in the racing world, they'd probably be just in HRA and go out there. And honestly, I'd probably run the pro stock stuff. That stuff is just crazy. I mean, you got so much going on, and I mean, you're literally driving those things. So
Yeah.
now, don't get me wrong, all the other ones you're definitely driving too at 300 plus mile an hour. I'm not knocking nobody. So anybody wants to say I'm knocking,
Yeah.
So
Even them crazy pro mods are super duper fast. Jeez.
yeah.
Rolling.
Yeah, the boys that run them fuel alters. Now those boys.
Oh yeah, no. Nope.
Yeah, them boys. They're
And
the
the
real
motorcycles?
deal.
Nope. No motorcycles. Nope.
No, God no. No.
Not interested in that
We're
at
on
all.
two wheels sometimes, not even intentionally.
Right.
We'll stick to our reason why we're on two wheels, not them on one. No.
Wheels, doors, and cages. Yes.
Yeah. I don't like road rash. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not saying wishing that on anybody, but I know what would happen to me. So
Yeah, I understand. Looks like you got a fan here. Who's this?
Cindy Brown, that's my grandma.
Awesome.
Cool.
That's my grandma.
Hello, Grandma Brown.
She's been coming out quite a bit. Her and Larry, my grandpa, have been coming out quite a bit, and along with a bunch of that side of the family.
Nice.
Have came out and supported, and unfortunately, it's rained out. I think the last 2 times that they've been out, unfortunately. So hopefully, this weekend works out right. They can all come out and watch one more big shebang, and hopefully watch the red car make some pretty killer passes, and might bring the bullet out, might not. We're not quite sure on that yet, but
Cool.
yeah. So it's always a good time to have the family atmosphere out there and getting to hang out with everybody and everyone go ooh and ah and normal weekend. Normal weekend to all of us.
Right. No, you got it. I don't have anything else. I don't know if Gary does. I covered my list, but Devin, just kind of give you the table here. Anything you want to say before we end this? We appreciate you coming onto this feed. We appreciate you coming and coming after that belt. We're glad you got it. We were joking on the last feed when we were talking to Logan about giving it back, and Gary's like, "No, I don't think he's going to give it back." And I was like, "We have to give it back. He's going to lower it. He's just going to."
You got to get it. Get it first.
I said someone's got to take it from you.
Yep.
That's exactly
right. Every time I'm at Mad, you best believe it's going to be sitting there, and if I'm not there and someone does break it, I'll be more than happy to hand deliver it myself. If that comes down to it.
Yep.
So.
There you go.
Hey, have you Sharpied your name and date, any of that? Have you customized it yet with your name, ET?
No, we're actually going to probably just take it to a trophy shop and let them do a cool little stamp on it, so it doesn't just get wiped away by the next person.
Awesome. Okay.
Guy over here going, oh yeah, we don't want that guy.
Right. Get the grinder.
Yeah, we'll get rid of that. Nah,
grind it off.
Put a stamp on it and make it legit.
Devin, who?
Get rid of that now.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Cool.
Great idea. So any final thoughts, sir? Floor is yours.
No, I'm excited to see what next season brings us. I mean, hopefully we can get out there and get the Titans boys out there and get all of them getting to run at Mad and everything and get that all organized and have a good time with that and trying to see where that brings us, and hopefully we can kind of scratch each other's backs on trying to promote some of y'all's stuff and some of our stuff and try to get Mocan involved and just trying to make this a good chain of people that we like to race with, and I mean, let's have good car counts. I mean, yeah, if you say, I won this race, but there was only 4 cars at the race, you just spend a weekend to race 2 times. I mean, no, I want to go out there. It doesn't matter if there's 16, 32, whatever. We'll make a big field. I don't care. We'll do a chip draw. I know Craven's not gonna like that one. Wait for the comment. But no, it's just one of the deals. I'm like, I want big classes. I mean, that's always what was cool. Like whenever first time I actually showed up to Mad was Halloween Throwdown back in 2019, I think we had just put the Oh, now Brian's coming on here. Okay. Oh,
There's Ryan.
Is.
There he
you're
is.
like playing nice and not trying to talk all smack or nothing. You know, here do that to me. I can't believe you.
This has been Brian.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just waiting now.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
great.
whenever we like the Halloween race, we showed up and the surface was amazing during the day, and then something went wrong. We did gold dust or whatever happened in the evening, and it turned into pretty sketchy prep deal. And I mean, we had, God, how many people did we have? We had probably about 30 plus people. We had like Tim Webb and Barry Lutz, and we had Brendan there. That was actually where I first met Brendan. He had an oil line issue, and we actually hooked him up and got him put back together and ended up racing him in the finals. And we're like, hey, we need that oil line back real quick.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry. No.
Who is Larry Hunt? Is he part of the Titans?
Yes.
Okay. So you see this? This is good right here.
Titans is in. There we go.
That's good to see.
There you go. Yeah, and Larry will tell you that straightforward. I mean,
so it's Larry and Al, right? Al. Yeah. His last name's Schoenwalter or something. I just butchered that, but
poor Al. Poor
Al.
It's Larry and Al. Just
Larry and Al. Okay.
Stop there, and it's like Tito Mark. I mean, I just stopped there. I mean, everyone else pronounces it perfectly fine. I always.
Yep.
Tito. Yeah. Mark. Yeah.
Mark. Tito. Yep.
Yep. But no, yeah. I mean, just going out there and getting big car counts is always what makes it an awesome atmosphere, and getting to hang out with everybody. And we do qualifying one night, and we all hang out afterwards, and then go to war the next day and just have a good old time with it.
That's what led us into doing the first video for the October 7th race. It was the last race. At the time, it was going to be the last race of the year. We wanted to get the racers to come, get the spectators to come, do something big for the last race, get the car count up and show the track that the racers will come and spectators will come. And now here we are doing this, and it's worked real well. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's really good fun. This has definitely been very enjoyable. Now finally settling in and kind of
good.
It's not been like freaking out like what are they going to ask next? What are they going to ask
That's
next?
how we was in the first one. It was like an hour and 20 minutes long. It was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Put your hands down.
Yeah. No, that's good. You've done a great job too, Devin, and like always.
I appreciate that. Well, hopefully we can get together on figuring out for next year on getting everybody over to y'all's place. You have some of y'all come over here and get Gary to get his car put together and
there you go
with us and go have some good times and
yep.
All that. So
all right. Gary, you got anything else?
I don't, but my sheet is scratched up I'm all scratched off and
right on. Same with me. Yeah. Devin, you got anything else?
I don't think so. I think I'm good. Well,
right.
Obviously I didn't have no notes, so.
Well, you did a great job.
We got you. We had you covered.
Here you go. One last one.
Uh-oh. It's stepchild. Yeah, I figured Heather. Thanks, Heather. Love you. Jesus.
Man.
We got some love from Lynn.
Oh, yep. Tracy Lynn, you're rocking an awesome job, Gary. Thanks, Tracy. This is fun.
All right. Congratulations, Devin. And you got the target on your back. You're the bullseye now. You got the belt. So
get it. It's just sitting right there. So
yep. Shane and Brendan are watching you, and the Foremans are watching you.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, good stuff. All right, we'll end it here unless you got anything else.
I think I'm good. I appreciate you fellas having me on tonight.
Man, thanks for your time tonight and the time leading up to it, kind of hashing things out and what. That was a ton of fun, man.
Hey, last night was definitely the reason why we test.
That's right.
Right. Oh man.
This setup's worked out awesome, and the clarity is amazing, and I think this is going to help out a bunch in the future for sure.
Yep.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Cool.
All right. Have a good rest of your day.
All right. You too. Have a good evening. Have a good week.
All right. You too.
See you later.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Devin. We'll see you at the track.
Will do. Thank you. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.